Welcome back everyone to the Grounded Strong or Wrong series episode 2. In this series I'm going to be using your builds that you comment down in the comment section, and I'm going to test them on different types of enemies and see how good they are. In today's video I have another 6 different builds today. You might see a bit of a theme with the Broodmother set, but with all that out of the way, let's go into the comments and see what builds we got. The first comment for today is by D0QY, and he says, my personal favorite build going around the backyard killing enemies is using the Mask of the Mother Demon, roly-poly armor, as well as the termite axe, the fire ant shield, as well as the sticky fingers trinket. So let's go ahead and see how good this build is going to be. Now, it didn't state any mutations, so I'm just going to go with chopper, buff lungs, our crit mutations, as well as cardio fan. Now you might notice as well, I am on my combat armory and I have updated a little new area of the combat stadium where all the new builds are going to be used. And we have the builds over here. So I'm going to go through each of these waves and see how good the build is. So let's start off with wave 1. And we were going to see how good this armor set is going to be. Against tier 1 creatures, it's going to be really good, as it's going to assume, because they are tier 1. That's tier 1 down. Quite easy. Let's start with the tier 2 creatures. We have our spider round. Now, we should be pretty easy versing these guys, because these guys are resistant, weak to chopping damage, sorry. So far, even though I've been getting hit quite a few times, I'm taking barely no damage because we have a full heavy armor set. And stage 2 was down just as quickly as stage 1. So far, we have taken no damage at all, and I haven't even buffed myself with the Liquid Rage Smoothie. Now let's go ahead and try out stage 3, the tier 3 creatures. We have a Black Widow and some Fire Ants and Ladybird Lava. So this is the true test right here. We have been hit once and twice. This is my fault. We're going to have to emergency heal, unfortunately. The Black Widow did get stunned. Let's quickly heal back up. There we go. Heal the Black Widow link so she doesn't get the buff off, but she got it off anyway. So far, this build, we're doing a lot of damage, but I feel like it can be a lot stronger. But we have tanked quite a bit of damage. Majority of our damage was just from the poison attacks. Overall, not a terrible build. And now for our final test will be the infected wolf spider. This guy is quite hard to get because some of his attacks are unblockable, but this build seems to be doing just perfectly fine. And just like that, he didn't hit us once. Thoughts on the build? I would say it's a really strong build, especially if you're a bit tanky. You're tanking a lot of damage and dealing a lot of damage. I would possibly add in the Fire Ant set just for, like, instead of the roly-poly gear, the Fire Ant gear, just for more corrosion and lower defense, so you can chop them and deal even more damage. But other than that, a solid build. This build is strong. And the next build we have today is by a nerd, and he asks to do a really tanky build, and he asked to do the roly-poly gear, which I instantly substituted for the Mother Demon gear because it gives you the same amount of defense, but this time it also gives you a chance to hit poison on attacks and a poison nova ability. This is already instantly better than the roly-poly gear. I chucked on the defense badge for more damage resistance, and then the prod smack is the heaviest hitting weapon in the game. And mutation is going to be meat shield, cardio fan, spicy safety, mithridism, as well as corporate kickback. So now we're going to go ahead and start with the tier 1 creatures. Should be relatively easy because we are very overpowered. We haven't hit our poison effect yet, but we are having big poison damage on all the guys. And I know charge attacks are really good for this gear, so we can try out a charge attack. Do that shocking damage. But I feel just hitting them normally is the best way to go. And although we've been hit a lot of times and been poisoned, we have taken minimal damage. But our next challenge is going to be the Widow, so we're going to heal ourselves up. And let's fight the tier 3 creatures. We have got our corporate kickback mutation, so we can just swing our weapon and infinitely heal. Our poison nova went off, so we should do massive AoE damage. Although I am perfect blocking, we have tanked a lot of damage. And our corporate kickback kicked back in, and we are instantly back to full HP, although we have been getting hit a lot. Our corporate kickback just kicked back in, and we can just tank through all the hits, and we've taken no damage whatsoever. There goes the Black Widow. Now it's just a poor fire soldier ant just sitting here. And just like that, we took out tier 3. Tier 3 was relatively easy. We did no casualties, just the poison from the Black Widow is what's doing the damage. So we're going to heal up, and we are going to fight the infected wolf spider now. We're going to dodge that bomb attack, and we are going to see how strong this is going to be. He is stunned. He is not able to hit us at all. Hopefully he won't hit us at all in general. There's that one explosion attack. Now that should almost kill us, but definitely not, because we have just been overpowered with the tankiness, if that made any sense. It's definitely better if you use the Mother Demon gear instead of the Roly-Poly gear. Like I said, they're the exact same defense, but this one just has extra bonus stats. So this build is strong. The next build I have for you guys today is by Dover Dog, and he asks for the Broodmother Sleek Armor, the Antlion Greatsword, and the Glow Giddy Goop Trinket. Mutations are Blade Master, Mum Jeans, and 3 others of my choice. So the builds I'm going to go with is Blade Master, Cardio Fan, Mum Jeans, Spicy Safety, and Corporate Kickback. So we are pretty much a tank build again, but this time we can summon and we can heal back from our attacks. Let's go ahead and start this off and try on the builds. We'll start with tier 1, should be relatively easy. Now that this weapon has been buffed, we should just shred through all the enemies. And just like that, stage 1 is already over. Let's try with stage 2, the spider wave. And we have already destroyed the wolf spider in roughly about 2 combos. No casualties so far, we've taken no damage whatsoever. And just like that, stage 3 is already over. That was really quick. We're going to try against the Black Widow, as well as the other tier 3 creatures. Our Corp Kickback mutation kicked in, so we should be fine with our attacking. The Giddy Goop Trinket is really helping with this AoE spray, so a lot of the other enemies in the background are being slowed and have their attack speed slowed. As seen here, the Black Widow is super slow, and just like that, she is already dead. And we have a lot of defects on the enemies as well. And just like that, stage 3 is over. Now we're going to try on the final stage, the infected wolf spider. Just like that, in one combo, we got 6 defects on him. 6 debuffs, sorry. That is really strong. And just like that, we took him out. Now we are going to have our poison hit us, so we could really swap out Corporate Kickback for Mithridism if you'd like, if you're versing spiders. But in all honesty, this build is, it actually surprised me, this build is very strong. Considering we literally, on our 3rd hit of that combo, that infected wolf spider got 6 debuffs in a single combo, which is really strong. So once again, this build is strong. Next up, we have a build by Kellen Weeks, and he asks for the full Ladybug Sleek with the trinket that does lowering damage but parry heal, so the compliance badge. And he would like to have the Parry Master mutation, Corp Kickback, Shocking Dismissal, Meat Shield, and any other mutation and weapon. The weapon I'm going to go for is the Tick Blade, because that Tick Blade has lifesteal on hit. And the Ladybug gear gives us increased healing from any source, as well as after we block an attack, we get more healing. So for this build, we're going to go Blade Master, Parry Master, Meat Shield, Corp Kickback, and Shocking Dismissal. I chose Blade Master just because we are using a blade, and the blade is going to help us in fights. Let's go ahead and try this out on our tier 1 creatures. I'm going to assume this build will be very strong, because we are not going to die whatsoever, because we are going to be continually hitting and healing back all the attacks that we have been just tanking with. Now granted, this weapon is quite weak, but like I said, on every single hit, we gain back all of our healing. That was a quick stage. Onto the spider stage. This stage should be relatively easy. Just like that, the wolf spider was stunned and could not attack me whatsoever. And when we run out of stamina, our Blade Master kicks in and we get our stamina right back. And just like that, on that one block attack, we are now having a trickle regen, which is always really nice. And just like that, the spider stage is over and we have taken no damage at all. Next, the tier 3. I'm going to assume this stage is going to be a little bit risky, but we should be able to just completely heal everything back up. I would say perfect blocking is definitely a necessity for this build, considering the compliance badge gives you that parry heal. But even though I'm just sitting here tanking all these attacks, I haven't seen my health bar drop whatsoever. And the Shocking Dismissal comes in, stunning all the enemies. Although we are going to get hit by this wolf spider, it is physically impossible to get her down 1 bar of my health. We are just healing that much. Haven't lost any HP at all, besides the damage over time we're getting right now. Now for the infected wolf spider, I'm going to assume this is once again going to be stupidly easy. We're going to let him hit with his heaviest attack, and we're going to heal that right back up. Like, right here. That one build, that one 3-hit combo should have killed us, but it didn't, and we're going to heal it right back up. Now, if you like dealing a lot of damage and healing back everything without needing to perfect block, then I would substitute the compliance badge with something else, maybe Thor's Pendant or something like that if you're not perfect at perfect blocking. But if you do like perfect blocking, use compliance badge, but I wouldn't say the compliance badge is needed. But overall, this build is really strong, and I would recommend it if you are quite new to the game. Just make the Ladybug gear because it is one of the best gears in the entire game. Our next build today is coming in by Melissa Graham 5021. And they ask for the Black Ox Armor, the Prod Smacker, and Liquid Rage and the Barbarian Mutation. Now, they didn't really give me a lot of details, so I'm going to go Black Ox gear down the Sleek path for our Quick Charge, as well as the Entomologist badge for plus attack but imperfect blocking. The reason why we're doing imperfect blocking is because Barbarian, if we have Barbarian activated, we will not be able to perfect block at all. So, there's no real point to perfect blocking if we have more damage with this build. So the mutations are going to be Barbarian, Meat Shield and Buff Lungs, Cardio Fan, as well as Spicy Safety. Now, I'm assuming this build can be swapped out at any time, but I'm just going to do this just because I feel like this is the most strong set of mutations, I guess. Now we're going to pop our Liquid Rage, and we're going to start tier 1, and we are just going to use our Quick Charge ability and see how much damage we are going to do. Our Barbarian has kicked in, and we are just destroying everyone with our AoE attacks. And just like that, they're all dead, but as every other build, tier 1 is quite easy, especially if this is all maxed out. Onto the spider stage, I'm only going to be using charged attacks, and it seems to be doing a great job, especially when versing multiple enemies. So I would assume this to be very good versing termite hills or black ant hills or fire ant hills. Any ant hill would be amazing because if they just stack on you. Onto tier 3, this is the biggest test, but should not be too much of an issue, considering our Barbarian and our stunning power is just insane on these guys. All the enemies that are going to attack me are going to get shocked and are pretty much going to die in the process. Just like that, everyone just died. Wow, I'm really surprised that they all died so quickly. Okay, I'm quite shocked that they're all dead already. Alright, onto the infected wolf spider. Should be a relatively easy fight. We're going to tank all this damage. Our Barbarian kicks in, and we should heal a massive chunk of HP. And just like that, we're going to 4-shot him. So our Barbarian mutation gives us constant health regen whenever we're attacking. As I said, I didn't use any heals in any of these builds, and we haven't even died, and we versed a lot of extremely hard creatures. I'm quite surprised that this build is very good, but then once again, the Prod Smacker is a very late game weapon, so it should be dealing a lot of damage. And even though I didn't heal at all, I just used one sticky Liquid Rage. The Barbarian mutation did all the healing for me, but this build is, I'm quite surprised. Once again, this build is very strong, but that is to be said because the Prod Smacker, you need to do all the mixes, and there's like 8 of them, so this is a very end game build. And our final build for today is coming in by DJ Bendy, and they ask for the wizard build. So we have a max level wizard hat, max level moth leggings, and a armor piece of my choice. I'm going with the widow chest piece just because we have that extra poison damage and parry poison, because parrying is quite needed for the wizard build. That's how we get our wizard buffs. And he also asks for boost juice and green machine for more stamina and exhaustion recovery, and mutations of Whittle Wizard, buff lungs, cardio fan, spicy safety, and corporate kickback. Let's go ahead and see how strong these builds are. We do have 3 different weapons, so I'm going to switch them out. I'm not going to prefer a single weapon. I'm going to switch them out whenever I feel like switching them out. So we're going to drink our smoothies, and let's just start off with the spicy, and I saw a bleed effect on one of them, that All Beaver Jr. He is burning and bleeding, and just like that, they are already all dead. No, they're not. There's a guy still sitting here. Now, tier 2, we're going to do the tower this time, and we are going to see how strong this will be. Let's switch to our spicy to get that burn effect, and we do have a bleed effect in there, and we're going to parry this and get our wizard's duel, and they are already all dead. Now it's time for stage 3. We're going to start off with the sour staff, and we're going to swap to the mint staff. We're going to block and use our mint staff. The Black Widow is bleeding, and they have been poisoned as well. I saw a poison effect as well, just like the ladybird larva is poisoned, and they are now stunned and burning. We're going to burn up everyone and use our sour staff on the wolf spider, on the Black Widow, excuse me. We're going to have to emergency heal. So she has a poison effect and a bleed effect and a burn effect from our Widow Wizard mutation. We're going to have to emergency heal again, and she is stunned, and we're just going to finish her off with our mint staff. But it's not over yet because we still have the infected wolf spider, and he is weak to fresh damage, so we're going to use our mint staff for this one. But first we're going to burn him. He has poison and a bleed. What's he doing? He's just chilling. Okay, we're gonna just take him out then. Now with this build, we did not have a trinket, so we can definitely add like some sort of Thor's pendant trinket or something like that, but they didn't ask for a trinket. But when it comes to the build, I'm not sure if the bleed is really the... I mean, when I did a wizard build, I did the Black Ox gear with quick charge, so I could use heavy attacks with the spicy and sour staff. But to be completely honest, this is a very light build. All of this gear is light armor, so we are pretty much a glass cannon. The moth leggings bleed works, the poison of the widow gear works, and the parry poison works well with the wizard's duel and defense. So I can't really think of a thing to make this build stronger. Maybe a trinket would definitely make it better, but overall I would say this build is strong in some cases. This is a glass cannon, as I said before, so just be careful with this build. And that is the end of the video for today, guys. If you guys want me to check out your build ideas, definitely chuck them down in the comments and I will choose 6 more for the next episode. And if you guys would like to try out my Playgrounds world, I guess, to try out different builds, link will be below of my map code in the description. And if you guys have made it this far to the end of the video, you might as well like and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.